Quarter 1, Module 2, Science 6, Separating Mixtures. This is your science teacher, Marie S. Luna. Quarter 1, Module 2, Lesson 1, Separating Mixtures through Filtering and Sieving. After going through this module, you are expected to be able to identify mixtures that can be separated through filtering and sieving. Identify the process of separating mixture which uses filtering and sieving, and use the technique in everyday life. Directions. Write the letter of the correct answer. Number 1. What method is used to separate solid impurities from water using filter in deposits? A. Sieving, B. Magnetism, C. Filtering, or D. Distillation. The correct answer is letter C. Filtering. Number 2. Which material will you use if you're going to make a coffee out of grind coffee for your visitors? A. Filter paper, B. colander, C. Mesh wire, or D. strainer. The correct answer is letter A. Filter paper. Number 3. This kind of technique in separating mixtures is used in separating fine sand from rocks in the mixture of sand and gravel. A. Picking, B. Sieving, C. Filtering, or D. Evaporation. The correct answer is letter B. Sieving. Number 4. Divine wants to separate a mixture of cornstarch from small stones that she will be using in making maja blanca. What kind of material will she use to separate it? A. Filter cloth, B. Towel, C. Filter paper, or D. Strainer with small holes. Correct answer is letter D. Strainer with small holes. Number 5. What separating technique will you use if you want to separate mango seeds which mix up with salt? A. Filtering, B. Picking, C. Sieving, or D. Magnetism. The correct answer is letter C. Sieving. Write the technique of separating the following mixtures: F for filtering and S for sieving. 6. Hot water from Pancit Canton. That is letter F. Filtering. Number 7. Sand with stones. Correct answer is S. Sieving. Number 8. Broth from tinolang manok. The correct answer is F. Filtering. Number 9. Milk from grated coconut. The correct answer is F. Filtering. Number 10. Impurities from water. Correct answer is letter F. Filtering. Lesson 1. Separating mixtures through filtering and sieving. In building houses and other structures, we often see workers use frame wire screen to separate stones from sand before it is mixed with cement. They want the sand to be as fine as possible before they mix it with the cement. This will result to a better cement mixture, resulting to stronger walls, flooring, and foundation of any building. On the other hand, carpenters love to sip coffee early in the morning before starting to work. They usually brew coffee and use cloth to filter the insoluble ground coffee from the liquid. These two processes of separating mixtures involve filtering and sieving that will be discussed in this module. Direction. Identify the technique of separating mixture. P for picking, W for winnowing, and S for sedimentation. You're going to use a separate sheet of your answer or for your answer. Number one, candies of different flavor. Correct answer is letter P, picking. Number two, rice husk from grains. Correct answer is W, winnowing. Number three, silt from water. Correct answer is S, sedimentation. Number four, different books on the table. Okay, that is letter P, picking. Number five, flour from water. S, sedimentation. Separating technique of insoluble solid from a liquid is done with the use of cloth or filter paper. A common example that uses cloth or filter paper is when brewing coffee in the morning. When separating two solid materials where one particle is fine and the other is coarse, one uses a strainer. Here are the other techniques of separating mixture that involve the following. First is we have the filtering. Solid and liquid components can be separated with the use of filter paper or paper cloth as a medium in which liquid passes through a filter paper, leaving insoluble solid materials in the medium. That is filtering. Sieving. Sieving is as a method in which two or more components of different sizes are separated from mixture on the basis of the difference in their sizes, which uses a sieve. Directions. From the short information that you have read, answer the following questions. Number one, what is filtering? 2. What is sieving? 3. What material remains in the filter cloth or paper when filtering is used to separate mixtures? Kindly comment your answers. Number 4, what material passes through a hole of a strainer when sieving is used to separate mixtures? Number 5, what is the difference between sieving from filtering? Directions. Write sieving or filtering in identifying the appropriate technique of separating mixtures. Number 1, flour from small pebbles. The correct answer is S, that is sieving. Number 2, mongo from baby powder. Okay, that is S, sieving. Number 3, milk from grated coconut. That is F. Number 4, dried tea leaves from hot water. F, filtering. 5, sand from water. F, filtering. Number 6, water from the faucet. F, filtering. 7. Seeds from flour. S. Sieving. 8. Stones from water. F. Filtering. Number 9. Gasoline from marbles. F. Filtering. Number 10. Grind rice from pebbles. S. Sieving. Always remember, if solid, that is sieving. If solid and with liquid, that is filtering. Okay, I learned that filtering of solid and liquid mixtures can be separated with the use of filter paper or filter cloth as a medium in which liquid passes through a filter paper, leaving insoluble solid materials in the medium. And sieving is a method in which two or more components of different sizes are separated from a mixture on the basis of their sizes. Okay, number 1, Kyle wanted to bake a cake for the birthday of his cousin. So he found out that the flour he will be using mixed up with some dried seeds. So what technique will he use and why? Okay, the answer is sieving, because flour, which is finer than the seeds, will pass through the tiny holes, leaving the seeds in the sieve. Number 2, what type of mixture will you form when you put dried tea leaves in hot water and then put some ice cubes and sugar on it? What separating technique did you use to extract dried tea leaves from hot water? Explain why you use such technique. The correct answer is iced tea. Filtering, because dried tea leaves is insoluble and only hot water will pass through a filter paper, leaving dried tea leaves on it. Directions. Choose the letter of the correct answer. Number 1, what method of separating mixture will you use if you want to remove small shells in a grind or ground coffee? A. Filtering, B. Sieving, C. Evaporation, or D. Decantation. The correct answer is letter B. Sieving. Number 2, which of the following mixtures use filter cloth to separate a solid from a liquid extract? A. Flour with stones, B. Powdered chalk with seeds, C. Baby powder with pebbles, or D. Milk from a grated coconut. The correct answer is letter D. Milk from grated coconut. Number 3, in filtering technique of separating mixtures, what type of material passes through a filter paper or cloth? A. Liquid, B. Gas, C. Solid, or D. Plasma. The correct answer is letter A. Liquid. Number 4, Yesha accidentally mixed the grind or ground rice that she will be using in making bibingka or rice cakes and puto with pebbles while looking for her other ingredients. How will Yesha remove the pebbles from the grind or ground rice? A. She will use a filter paper to remove it. B. She will use evaporation process to remove it. C. She will use decantation process to remove it. Or D. She will use a sieve to remove it. The correct answer is letter D. She will use a sieve to remove it. Number 5. How will you separate the calamansi seed from calamansi juice? A. By sieving, B. By picking, C. By filtering, or D. By sedimentation. The correct answer is letter C, by filtering. Sort out the mixtures inside the box and arrange them in their proper column. So the first column is filtering and the other side is sieving. The mixtures are cornstarch and beans, alcohol and coins, tawas powder and buttons, vinegar and peanut seeds, sunrocks and coffee beans. Okay, the answers are for filtering. We have alcohol and coins, vinegar and peanuts, and sunrocks and coffee beans. For sieving, we have cornstarch and beans, and tawas powder and buttons. For additional activities, you're going to write a short explanation on the following question. Number 1, why do people attach filter to their faucets in or at home? Number 2, why is there a need to sieve the flour before baking a cake? Quarter 1, Module 2, Lesson 2, Separating Mixtures Through Evaporation. Direction. Write the letter of the correct answer. Number 1, what method is used to obtain salt from seawater? A. Decantation, B. Sedimentation, C. Evaporation, or D. Filtering. The correct answer is letter C. Evaporation. Number 2, which of the following examples undergo evaporation process? A. A pail of water under the heat of the sun, B. Brushing your teeth after meal, C. Ironing clothes every weekend, or D. Listening to the radio. The correct answer is letter A. A pail of water under the heat of the sun. Number 3. It is the main factor that causes evaporation process in separating mixtures. A. Water, B. Heat, C. Smoke, D. Light. The correct answer is letter B. Number 4. Princess accidentally spilled a glass of water in the salt container and she is thinking with a solution on how she's going to recover salt from water. What will Princess do to return the salt to its original place? A. She will wrap it with newspaper tightly. B. She will throw it away in the waste can. C. She will hide it in a dark corner. Or D. She will boil the solution. The correct answer is letter D. She will boil the solution. Number 5. While boiling water in a kettle, Gwen noticed that there are smoke coming from the spout of the kettle. He asked his mother, why did the smoke rise upward? What do you think will be the mother's answer? A. Because the water reached its cooling point. B. Because the water reached its boiling point. C. Because the water is heated and became water vapor. Or D. Because the water is freezing. The correct answer is letter C, because the water is heated and became water vapor. Write E if the following condition undergo the evaporation technique of separating mixture, and N if not. 6. Water in the canal becomes less after the rain. The answer is E, evaporation. Number 7. Doormat on the floor. That is N, not. Number 8. Wet hair becomes dry. E, evaporation. Number 9. Chair on the ground. The answer is N, not. Number 10. Cooling after sweating. Correct answer is E, evaporation. Lesson 2. Separating mixtures through evaporation. Direction. Identify the technique of separating mixture. Write F for filtering and S for sieving. Number 1. Powder milk with small stone. The answer is S, sieving. Number 2. Sand from stone. The correct answer is S, sieving. Number 3. Alcohol from coins. The answer is F, filtering. Number 4. Grind rice from buttons. The answer is S, sieving. Number 10. Grind coffee from hot water. The answer is filtering, F. Heat is an important component to our environment as it makes green things live and grow abundantly. The presence of the sun's heat serves as the main source of energy in our planet, as it brings many uses of the biotic known as living things and abiotic or non-living things components of our surrounding. As heat is used by animals and plants as the main source of energy, it is also useful in so many things in the process of evaporation as one of the techniques in separating mixtures. Evaporation is a process of separating mixtures which involves heating the solution until the solvent evaporates, leaving behind the solid residue. Again, this is evaporation. Heat being the main component in this process separates the mixture of solid from a liquid. As liquid goes in the air in a form of gas when heated, changing liquid to gas as an example of physical change. Some examples of evaporation are boiling water, drying clothes, and drying of wet roads under heavy rains. Answer the following questions on the blank provided. Number 1. What is evaporation? Number 2. What is needed to achieve evaporation process? Number 3. Give 3 examples of situation where evaporation process was observed. Number 4. What kind of material was left behind when mixture was heated? Number 5. What kind of change is involved in the evaporation process? Directions. Read the condition stated in the box. Pick out those that undergo evaporation process. Write your answer on your notebook. So we have burning paper, cooking noodles, writing, drying of sand after the rain, drying of wet flour, drying of the plate under washing or after washing, cooking rice, coloring a book, cooling after sweating, boiling mungo seed, watching TV, salt making. So the answers are, we have cooking noodles, cooking after sweating, drying of sand after the rain, drying of wet flour, drying a plate after washing. Also have cooking rice, boiling mungo seeds. Those are the answers. They will also have salt making. Complete the following ideas. Do it on your notebook. I learned that evaporation is a process of separating mixture which involves heating until the solvent evaporates, leaving behind solid residue. Okay, again, evaporation is a process of separating mixture which involves heating until the solvent evaporates, leaving behind the insoluble or the solid residue. Solid residue. Okay, number 1, in a grade 6 science class, a group of pupils would like to separate salt from water. What method will they use to separate the mixture? Explain your answer. Number 2, in the illustration given, explain a few sentences the technique of separating mixture and give the benefit of separating it. So the illustration is drying of clothes. Okay, so number 1, so you're going to choose the letter of the correct answer. Number 1, Lester had noticed that the amount of water in a container with a plant becomes less as the days goes by. What do you think is the reason of decreasing amount of water in a container? A. Some insects sip the water. B. Water in the container was not changed. C. Water evaporates because of heat. Or D. The plant has a stem. The correct answer is letter C. Water evaporated because of heat. Number 2, which of these examples show evaporation process as technique of separating mixtures? A. Drying of water on the table. B. Flooding of water in the river. C. Cooling of water in the refrigerator. Or D. Freezing of water in the ocean. The correct answer is letter A. Drying of water on the table. Number 3, what technique will Jocelyn use if she wants to separate salt mixed with water in a container? A. Filtering. B. Evaporation. C. Picking. Or D. Sedimentation. The correct answer is letter B. Evaporation. Number 4, in evaporation process, liquid becomes blank when heated. A. Solid. B. Ice cubes. C. Plasma. Or D. Vapor. The answer is letter D. Vapor. Number 5, it is a process of separating mixture which involve heating, leaving the solid residue in a container. A. Evaporation. B. Precipitation. C. Distillation. Or D. Sedimentation. The correct answer is letter A. Evaporation. Directions. Put a check before the number if the technique used is evaporation and X if not. Number 6, water cycle. Check, the technique used is evaporation. Number 7, using cell phone. The answer is X. Number 8, pulling a chair is X. Number 9, drying of hair using hair dryer. Correct answer is check. The technique used is evaporation. Boiling kamote. The answer is check. Okay, we're going to review quiz for sieving and for evaporation. So this is for your home-based learning for week 6.